Hi there, welcome to your practice. We're going to begin this one just feeling your feet on the ground. You might move a little forward and back, side to side, starting to find center. When you find something that feels like center, you can lengthen the spine. And we're going to take 3 breaths here. Maybe you want to have your eyes softly open or they could be closed. And as you're breathing here, you can start to consider what are some of the signals that your body gives you that it's wanting some movement. So when you're complete with that, you can continue to breathe at your own pace. We're going to start to take the right ear to the right shoulder. So left side of the neck is just slowly opening. So this is reminding me of one of my personal cues, which is feeling tightness or tension in one part of my body. You can pick up the left arm here. We're going to point the fingertips to the ceiling and back down and then out. And we'll hold here a little while longer. When you're ready, we'll come back to center. And we'll begin again the second side. So now left ear to left shoulder. Sometimes I know my body's asking for movement when I feel what I name in my own body as anxiety. I feel it like a pent up energy, kind of a sped up feeling. And I'm always working to remember that energy wants to move. When you're ready, you can take the right arm up. We'll point the fingertips to the ceiling and down and then out. And of course, I'm just offering examples from my own body. What feels true in your body is very likely to be different, maybe quite different. When you're ready, we'll come back to center, and we're going to gently tuck the chin to the chest. Sometimes I feel a desire to move from my mood, especially grouchiness, grumpiness, a general feeling that the whole world is against me. Sometimes I feel it through stiffness. When I stand up, when you're ready, we'll slowly take the head up. And I'm like, ugh. Those are another one of my signs. So just noticing how you feel here now that we've worked both sides of the neck. And when you're ready, we'll interlace the fingers. We're going to reach them away from us, round the back in the opposite direction. Breathe in between the shoulder blades. When you're ready, we're going to press through the feet, arms come up, and then we'll exhale, take the arms down. Now, second side, reverse the interlace. It's usually the one that feels kind of strange. We'll reach the hands away, round the back again. And so in this practice, we're moving through some of the common areas of the body that ask for movement. So we started with the neck. We're working now some with the shoulders. And of course, we're going to get the whole body involved. If you want to just do a little wobble, shake breath here, you can. We're going to come now to stand in front of your blocks. So maybe you start them on the highest height because we're going to check in and see what's true today. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, bend the knees. Hands come to the blocks. So now you get to see, what is up with the back of my legs today? Maybe my low back. If you're here, legs have worked relatively towards straight, you naturally have bend in the elbows, maybe you dial it down. And you can continue that process, dialing up and down. If your belly feels compressed, you can step the feet a little wider, make space. And when you are ready, we're going to press through the feet. Come on up. Exhaling, arms by the sides. Second side, we inhale up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, we're going to come halfway up. Exhale and fold. Now we're going to step the right foot back into a lunge. If your belly feels compressed, you can pick up your left hand, move the belly to the middle. Giving the legs and the hips a little moment here. And then maybe you rise up a little more onto the ball of the back foot, and in one or more steps, step that foot forward. Now, before we go anywhere, we're going to start to send the hips to the right. So, of course, the legs follow along. And we're looking for some outer hip sensation, stretch here. Sometimes I like to move a little bit with this, forward and back with my hip. Finding some nooks and crannies to open. For me personally, it's not hard to find them. When you're ready, we'll come back to center, press through the feet, and on an inhale, we'll come on up. Exhaling, arms by the sides. Okay, second side, inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Now we'll step the left foot back into a lunge. Maybe adjusting the belly on the right. Take one more breath here. And when you're ready, maybe rise up on that back toe, step the foot forward. And now we're going to send the hips to the left. Moving, maybe if you want to, a little forward and back. We'll come back to center. Press through the feet on an inhale. We'll come all the way up. Exhale, arms by the sides. So now we'll add on. We're going to inhale up. Exhale and fold. Inhale halfway up, bringing movement to the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot steps back to the lunge. This time we're going to come up. So maybe use your left hand above your knee to support you. We're in a high lunge here. You can press the back thigh back. If this doesn't work for your back foot, you can turn the toes out to the right, plant the foot down. Either option works. We're going to add in a twist here. So left hand is going to stay on the left hip. Right arm can come up, and then it's going to come over to the left. So maybe it lands on the belly or maybe somewhere on the left leg. If your chest and arm feel kind of compressed, you can always pick up your hand, move the skin, bring the arm back. When you're ready, we're going to come back to center, and then from here, one or more steps, back foot comes forward. If your foot needs a little shake out, that's welcome. Second side, inhale up. Exhale and fold. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold. Now we'll step the left foot back. When you're ready, we're going to come up, maybe use that hand for support. High lunge. You can adjust that back foot if you want to. Turn it out to the left, plant it down. We'll take the twist. So left arm comes up, twists to the right. When you are ready, we'll come back to center. One or more steps, step that back foot forward. And we'll add on again. We're going to inhale, arms up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. We'll step the right foot back into the lunge. We'll come up using that hand for support or not. Now we're going to play with a little bit of balance. And so you can step the right foot forward. We're going to step onto the ball of the foot. And then we'll rise up the right knee. Hold here. Now if you'd like, you can tap it down again, or you can step directly back into the lunge. And then tap or pick the leg up. We'll set the foot down. We're going to turn and step wide. Now right toes turn in, left leg and foot turns out. Hands are on the hips. We're going to inhale, bend the front knee. We're not going past the front ankle. Exhale, straighten. Next time you're through the bent knee, we're going to hold it. Torso faces long side of the mat. Arms come up. You could turn the head here. Warrior two. Breathing at your own pace. One more breath here. When you're ready, hands to the hips. We'll turn the feet to parallel, step the feet together. And we'll come in front of the blocks again. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot back into the lunge. Come up, press through the front foot. Step the left foot forward, a little tap. Pick the left foot up any amount. Maybe you pick it up a centimeter. And then from here, you could tap it down or step it back for the lunge. Your choice, tap or just play with coming right into the balance. When you're ready, bring that foot down. We're going to turn and step wide again. This time, left toes turn in, right leg and foot turns out. Hands on the hips. We'll inhale, bend that front knee. Exhale, straighten. Couple more. Next time you're through the bent knee, we'll hold it. Torso faces the long side, the mat. If you like, turn the head, look over the front fingertips. Really reaching wide here, opening across the chest. One more breath. And when you're ready, we'll bring the hands to the hips, feet to parallel, step the feet together. We're going to come from here to seated. You might like to use the blocks for some support, bringing the ground to you as you come down. I like to sit up on a blanket to lift my hips, make sitting a little bit more available, sitting towards the front edge of the mat. Now we're going to have the left leg in front of you to start. Right leg is extended to the right. And bring your blocks in front of you. Now, before we do anything, we're going to move the belly to the middle, maybe down towards the pelvis. Now we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Now I know those blocks are in front of you, but we're letting the body be in charge of how far you go. And then the blocks can come in for support if you like. So when you get to a place where you feel like, okay, I can hold here, I'm feeling maybe some stretch, then you can let the hands come forward. Maybe you come onto the forearms on the blocks. Maybe you put them in a different position and reach. Maybe you don't use them at all and you bring your hands to the ground. These are all here for options so that you can tailor this to what your body needs, what your body is asking for. And when we hold in a position like this, it's a great opportunity to check in, to maybe revisit that question of how you notice what your body wants, when it wants to move. And maybe your body's telling you it's found a little space. You could come forward a little bit more. It could be the opposite. Your body could say, whoa, you've gone a bit too far. Let's dial it back a notch. And how you specifically notice that through sensation in your body is the skill and the muscle we are always interested in building. Let's take one more breath here. When you're ready, keeping your chin lightly tucked, we're slowly going to come up, untucking the chin last. Now, when you're ready, you can just move the blocks out of your way for a moment, bring the legs to center, give them a little wobble. And then we'll switch sides. So now right leg is coming in front, left leg is coming out to the left. Blocks in front of your right leg. Let's move the belly to the middle. And if the right knee is, really up in the air, feeling unsupported, you could put a block under there, you could put a blanket under there, anything you can just kind of wedge for a little support. And when you're ready, again, we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. And just seeing, what's it like on this side? I am noticing for me, it's tighter on this side. And I have a desire to go past that and to go where I was on my first side. And so I'm just being curious about that. Supporting yourself wherever you are. We let the body be the body. And what I mean by that is we don't ask for perfect symmetry side by side, because that's incredibly rare that the body is that way. And so we just try to meet what is here on each side. Breathing at your own pace. Bringing attention to your internal cues that tell you, I think I could come forward a little more. Or actually, as is true for me in this moment, I need to come back a little bit. Maybe you stay right where you are, taking some full breaths. Let's all take one more breath. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly come up, untucking the chin last. You can set your blocks out of your way. Bring the legs in front and give a bit of a wobble. So when you're ready, we're going to come around to lie down. You might like to bring a blanket or something under your head for some support. We're going to begin here with the knees bent, feet flat on the ground. So just give yourself a moment here to feel into this new relationship to gravity. Noticing where your body is in contact with the ground. If you'd like, you can start to rock your knees gently side to side. You're welcome to keep that going. Or you can bring the knees back to center. Pick up the right foot any amount and just point and flex the foot. Maybe circle the ankle one direction, other direction. Like any other movements this leg might be asking for. When you're ready, we'll come back to center. And we'll do the second side. So pick up the left foot any amount. Start to circle the ankle. One direction. Other direction. Point and flex the foot. And then let this leg make any other movements it might like. Just noticing how the leg may be communicating that information to you. When you're ready, we're going to take a moment here before our final relaxation and just check in. Is the body asking for any more movement? And if it is, let yourself follow that. So it doesn't need to be a, very specific yoga pose. You can just let yourself move. And maybe you want to keep that going. But if and when you find a time that you feel complete with that, you can come back to center. And start to find your way into a position for Shavasana, for relaxation. So you might like to stay here with your knees bent, feet on the ground. You could extend the legs. And maybe you want to put a little something under your knees for support. If you have a bolster or a rolled up towel, something you could put underneath. You could also come to lie on your side. Maybe you use a blanket on your arm, under your head for support. So whatever you choose, just taking a moment to feel where you are in contact with the ground again. And seeing if there is anything in your body you might be able to soften even 10% as you let go into this relaxation. And we'll stay here, breathing at your own pace. When you are ready, I'm going to let your body guide you out of this position. So usually we start with wiggling fingers and toes, and maybe that would feel supportive. But you can also pause first, ask your body what movement it would like. Maybe it's something different. You don't need to know ahead of time where you're going next. You can just try some things. And when you feel ready, maybe you press through your feet if you're laying on your back. Scoot your hips just an inch or two in one direction to support you, and just gently and slowly rolling to one side. And then coming up and tucking your chin last. Whenever you are up, you can be in any seated position. We won't be here long. If you like, you can bring your hands together in front of your heart. We'll take them up to the forehead. May I think of myself with kindness. To the eyes, may I see myself with compassion. To the mouth, may I speak to myself with love. And to the heart, to seal it in, we'll inhale and exhale. Thank you for practicing with me.